Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 16th of September. So following the Saudi oil attacks over the weekend, a lot of markets are looking rather mixed this morning. There's a number of gaps where markets have been priced at a different price point this morning or this week compared to their close of last week. And there is a sort of a sentiment now of sort of risk off coming through into the market. So we'll certainly sort of see that how that plays out through the remainder of the day. Now, let's take a look at a few markets here that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room at the start of this week. If we come and have a look at the Dow first of all, and this is a representative of all the US indices at the moment, the market has opened significantly lower from where it closed on Friday. We can see this here on the daily chart. The market sort of gapped down some sort of 200, 250 pips thereabouts. But it came down to this sort of technical level of this 27,000. It's finding support there in the overnight sessions, and we can see at the moment that the market's sort of rallying up quite nicely to potentially sort of close that gap. Now, going forward, I think this gap will close here on these markets, and certainly the US indices have been looking extremely strong up until this point. So wouldn't be at all surprised if we're going to start to look for continued sort of momentum up to these highs, and then look at how the market's going to address those highs later. If we take a look here on the 4-hour time frame, we can see the sort of reverse around here of price action. We can see that the market's got quite a nice sort of distance here to fill this sort of gap. But up to this sort of price point here, you can see from sort of Friday's close, there was a level there that we'd sort of seen of support and resistance. And so a pull back into this level, I think, is a sort of simple move. When it gets to this decision point, it's then, what does the market do from there? Do we sort of find resistance here and roll over, or do we sort of find a bit more momentum here and break through and potentially push on to new highs? Certainly for me at the moment, I'm looking at the move up to this level and the move up to the gap close really as the sort of first state of play, and that's what I'm looking for in the sort of first sort of couple of trading sessions here into this week. Now, if we come and have a look at the commodity markets, the one that we're keeping a close eye on at the moment here is silver. Now, we've had some nice trading opportunities on silver here in the trading room over the sort of past few weeks, but at the moment we can see that the market is starting to put in a reverse of this sort of upward trend that we've had. So now we've got a lower high, a lower low, and following the sort of moves that we've had, and again the sort of gap that we've had over the weekend, we're looking for continued sort of weakness down here to the sort of 1750 level. If we look at this and just remind ourselves of the levels that we discussed earlier, we've got a couple of levels or a few levels here on this weekly pullback. We've got 18,000, 1750 and 17,000. So all of these three levels are very significant support and resistance structures. Obviously 18,000 didn't hold. We've got 1750, which has already been tested once, and then below that we've got the 17. We're looking at the moment to see whether the 1750 gets retested here on this market. So if we come down to the lower time frames and take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame, you can see the sort of 1750 level here on the 4-hour. You can see the support and resistance that we've had there before. So the market sort of gapped up here, came back into the sort of resistance sort of area up here at $18. If we just sort of mark that in, so we've got this sort of $18 sort of dollar level through here, where the market certainly sort of found support. We can see that the market sort of rallied up, kissed that area, but couldn't sort of rally beyond it. So now we're seeing weakness in here. We're looking for this sort of short trend on these intraday timeframes to come down, retest the sort of 1750. So we'll certainly be looking at opportunities within that range here on silver. Because these levels are quite significant, we'll look at, once the market gets to 1750, we'll then look at how the market reacts here before looking to see whether we're going to be looking for opportunities down to that $17 level that we looked there on the weekly, which is down here. Now, if we come to Forex markets, one of the favorite Forex markets that we're looking at this morning is Aussie dollar. Now, the Aussie dollar from a macro perspective has been in a short trend. If we look at this on the weekly chart, we can see the short trend that we've had here. The market at the moment is right back into the moving average zone, back into the fair value zone. But even here, we can see that last week, the market didn't sort of show any bearish action. It sort of continued to be bullish last week. This week, we're continuing to see some bullish action at the start of this week. And if we break above last week's high, that's going to see us into sort of breaking through this sort of structure. And we're looking here to see whether, at least if we could perhaps maybe get some sort of moves up towards 69 and then up towards that sort of 70 level. So we're almost looking at an interim move here on these higher time frame trends to the long side. If we come down to the daily time frame, we can see that here on the daily, the market here is sort of again looking bullish. We don't have wonderful trends here, but certainly the market's breaking through structure levels and finding support at those structure levels and continuing to move higher. You can see our structure levels here. We've got 69 and then 70 above. So these are sort of, and particularly between 69 and 70, quite nice sized trading windows that we'll be looking at long opportunities in between. If we come down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see here on the 4-hour, the sort of consolidation that we've had here. We can see that we've got a bit of structure here. Breaking through these longs here, we're looking for bullish market here on Aussie dollar. Again, looking for trades up to 69, and then from 69, we'll wait for the confirmation of that decision point there, and then look above 69 to 70, and looking for opportunities long on Aussie dollar between those levels. The entry points are likely to be on lower time frames, but these are the structures that we're looking at on these markets at the beginning of this trading week. So I certainly hope it helps, and look forward to speaking to you on Wednesday. Bye for now.